Science, we are on pages 118 and 119. Building a spring scale. Basic framework. In order to measure force, an instrument called a spring scale is used. It is made from a metal spring and a measuring scale that shows the amount of force being applied to the spring. Observation. Observe the image. Why are the springs different lengths? The springs are different lengths because each mass exerts a different force and therefore their deformations are not all the same. Research question. What is the function of the metal spring in a spring scale? Hypothesis. A spring scale uses the deformation of a spring to measure force. Prediction. Mark the prediction you think is correct. The deformation of the spring in the spring scale increases when more force is applied. That is correct. Checking that one. Experimental procedure. Collect the following supplies: a metal spring, a set of 10 weights from 50 to 500 grams, a piece of wood that is 30 centimeters long and 5 centimeters wide, a nail, a hammer, a paper clip, and activity card number 8. Glue the graph paper from the activity card on the piece of wood. Hammer the nail into one end of the wood. Attach the spring to the nail. On the other end of the spring, connect the paper clip. Bend the paper clip so it has a hook at the bottom. Mark the length of the spring on the graph paper and label it 0. Hang a 50-gram weight on the end of the paper clip and mark the length of the spring. Label this point according to the table on activity card 8, which shows the amount of force applied by each of the weights. Remove the 50-gram weight and hang the 100-gram weight. Mark the new length of the spring and label the applied force. Follow the same steps with the 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, and 500-gram weights. You just built a spring scale that allows you to measure force from 0 to 5 newtons. A newton is the unit of measurement used to measure force. What happened to the spring as the weight increased? The deformation of the spring increased. Interpreting and analyzing results. What determines the length of the spring? It depends on the magnitude of the force that is exerted on the spring. In this case, the mass hung from it. Was your prediction the same as your results? Yes, the prediction coincides with the results. Conclusion. What is the function of the spring in the spring scale? The function is to measure the force exerted on it. To compare and contrast means to find similarities and differences. In this case, we looked at similarities and differences between your predictions and the actual results. This comparison allows you to test or prove your research question.